Okay, guys, welcome back to ig8liveesports. Once again, I'm back with some racing here for a sprint race on with lap 1 already. Sorry for the delay. To switch on to that as they get on the opening lap here, we can see Krusty trying to catch up to the leader at the moment. 8 tenths behind. Bonhomme in third. We got Tubber Malone in fourth, and we'll explain a bit more where the starting results came from as we get through the session. And looks like it's already a virtual safety car on the opening lap of what is a sprint race here at Abu Dhabi at the moment. So everything's going to be slowed down for just a bit. It's only a 10-lap race, but a sprint race at that it is, and it's going to be quite an interesting one. Let's see how it goes when they get this back restarted again. It's only a VSC, so we should get back on the way shortly. Let's get a few things back on stream. Sorry guys, I was a bit distracted getting on the transition to get this back going. Have a look on what's going on. So medium for most of the grid here. We got a few guys on the soft tires there, trying to make sure, of course, that they can push all the way down to the end of the Grand Prix. So we're back racing in 2024. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. Welcome back to the channel again. We're on the PSF1 right now, and I think this is round 4, if I'm not mistaken, for the current season that we're continuing into the new year. So let's see how the guys get out to it. It's a sprint race session this evening. So we got a sprint race for 10 laps here, then we got the normal 50% race coming up just after this, and the results, of course, are based on standings from previous sessions. So they're working with that, getting on through. That's why we got started right away without that qualifying session as we usually have when we're back racing again. And it looks like Farmer still holding on in the lead out in front in the Haas at the moment. Already leading by 2 seconds. I'm not sure how he got that lead up so quickly, but there's something right on that restart of the VSC there. So he's going to keep that going as much as he can here. We got the rest of the grid trying to fight for positions down in the midfield. Having a look what's happening with Mr. Bosnia Alpelia being chased down by quite a few cars. As you can see, the gaps less than a tenth between most of the drivers here. Quite a few drivers side by side as they go through. I think we're still going through sector 2 right about now on this lap. Jamie goes down the order. He's down to about 10th right now, trying to get back up to 9th against Shinzo at the moment. If he can get it going, let's see what's going to happen with that. Legendary currently 6th on the grid out in front. We got Wolf is a lot just in front of him. Another 10th in front of him in the Red Bull. So very, very close gap. So the furthest gaps I think we have is with the race leader out in front. He is 2.3 seconds ahead of the Ferrari. Let's see if we can hold that going on through. Got about 3 wires going through here. It's a Williams, Mercedes, and I think one of the Alpines trying to fight for position, getting on through. Looks like the Mercedes might be in front. That is Wolves getting into P5 and holding that position. Quite an interesting array of battles on track as we go through this. And have a look what's happening at the back of the grid as well. We got 19 drivers in total, by the way, with this cars in 18. GM currently 16, JS is 15. Two of them are together. I think we might be having a safety car because someone is out of the session, and that's the Mercedes of Wolf right now. I'm not entirely sure what just happened because I was looking at the leaderboard at the side there, but he is completely out of the session with this one here. And looks like we're going to continue on racing. I don't think he's the part of the track is very blocking the race, so they're going to keep this going here. Let's see how this continues on through though. So Frostier still 2nd, Tubber Malone still 3rd, Boss still in 4th, Legendary still 5th, Chong currently 6th, Jamie is up to 7th right now, Rebel is up to 8th, Reiner running 9, Marsh running in 10, Shinsa in 11, we got Jake 12, GM in 13, and the order switches up quite a bit after that little incident there. So it's lap 3 of 10 on the sprint race here at the moment, and it's going quite interesting, especially for the drivers out in front, holding positions as much as they can. Got a few drivers in the pit lane right about now. I think that is the Red Bull about Homie JS and the Haas. Now in the Aston Martin using the pits as well. Locke is I think he just possibly came back out. No, he just went past. The farmer is holding on to the lead out in front. It's still quite a bit of a gap, and he's gotten that gap extended a bit after the VSC that we have on the opening lap of the sprint race. So I guess he's going to keep that going all the way and possibly pull off a win here if he can. Let's see what's going to happen. And Wolf seems to be having some FPS issues on his side. I think that's possibly a cause the crash. Unfortunately, he is out of the sprint race. He is going to be back for the main session though, so we'll see him back on track again very shortly after this session is over. Lap 4 of 10, and gonna have a look what's happening out in front. Let's go on with Legendary at the moment, chasing after that Ferrari. It's pretty close gap. It's only 2 tenths, but being chased by a McLaren behind. Of course, followed by a Red Bull, then Jamie in the Ferrari, Rhino in 9th in the McLaren, and he's not too far off from the Ferrari in front of him. So we're looking pretty good in terms of the gap here, which is usually just what we expect with a sprint race on any track. Basically, tends to happen this way. You got a lot of competition. You got to get pushed as much as they can, so the gaps are always much closer. And I think they put a bit more risk into it as well. And thank you, for renewing the subscription on the channel. I appreciate that very much. Just actually noticed that. To let you know, it's down one position. I'm not sure what happened. They just lost the position to Chong in the McLaren. He's up into 5th place, trying to get into a podium as possibly if he can here for this race session. Farmer holds on to the lead of the race out in front. There goes the Williams, tries to squeeze it on the inside. Doesn't work too well. He loses the rear, though, spins around, and now has to try to get this back going again. And he has lost a lot of positions already, down to 13th on the grid, and having some trouble, I think, getting over back onto the track there. Let's switch this back around here. Back out in front, looks like Tubber Malone and Mr. Boss having a go at it for 2nd place in the race right now. So let's see how that's going to work with those two. That's 3 seconds, let's call it that, is where the horse is out in front, leading the Grand Prix. And he's doing quite a great job, I got to say, holding on to that lead. These two are now side by side. This is for 2nd place. There is the Haas, the race leader, getting away out in front. The Alpine currently in 2nd. It looks like we have a bit of an FPS issue on our end as well. Someone's having a bit of an issue there. There might be minor issues on drivers then going through, so I have to switch it back through. So the Alpine having some issues there. Hopefully doesn't affect his race session. Tubber Malone, though, pushing as much as he can. He is on the podium place here. He wants to get as high up as he can. Not sure he's going to be able to make it into the lead, but he's going to try to get 2nd place from the Alpine driver if he can. Rebel there falls back just a bit now. He is in 4th. Chong not too far behind, and Chong loses a place there. He went off track. He's coming back on again. His teammate is now behind him as they go on through lap number 5, and they might have to do a switch here. Depends who's fast on track. We'll see what's going to happen, because Marsh is not far off behind. Half a second is where the gap is as he chases after both McLaren right now, trying to get up at least 2 positions if he can here. Because here in the Ferrari, he of course is behind the next Alpine down in the back there. So pretty close gaps in the midfield and all around the track mostly. Even out in front, we still got a pretty close gap with Boss and Tubber Malone. Out in front, the lead is, that gap is dropping at least by a second so far, 9/10 of a second. We got a caution in sector 1. I think maybe somebody is off track here. Hopefully not a major incident. Looks like we might be getting back going with that, so we should be fine so far. Let's keep this going and see what's going to happen. Looking to possibly be a win for Farmer if he can make it to lap 10 without losing the lead here. It's a 2.4 second gap out in front, but anything can happen in the next 4 to 4.5 laps that we have remaining in the Grand Prix. So let's see how it's going to work out for him as we continue to get this race going. 8/10 with Tubber Malone and Boss. Our gap is falling a bit farther than we would like there. Still some pretty close gaps out in front here. We can see the Ferrari of Rebel and Red Bull of Jamie fighting it out in front. The 2 McLarens here who are just right behind each other, will say that, because Marsh is still chasing after them, trying to get up a position if he can. Let's see if he does get by. Having a very difficult time lining them up for an overtake here on the track right now. And it's looking to be Rhino might be having a chance of getting by his team member Chong, though, closing the gap on the Red Bull out in front. Let's see if we can get this overtake done. It's into lap number 7 of 10 as we keep this going here. Chong trying to really close that gap. Has to keep an eye on the Ferrari, the Ferrari out in front. To see what's going to happen once he gets the overtake done. He's going to overtake both of them. His teammate, though, right behind him at the moment, and we can see Marsh and Alpine coming just behind that, not too far behind. So this is getting a bit interesting to see what's going to happen. Results for sprint race always are going to be a bit interesting here. So let's see what's going to happen as we get this going. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for the subscription. Did he gift one and take one? I'm not sure. I think he gifted a subscription and did one himself. So that's going to be 2 subscriptions in one go. Thank you very much, man, for that. Appreciate it very much. What's happening here? I think it's a switch. That was definitely a confirmed switch with the McLaren drivers. As you can clearly see Chong slowing down slightly there to let his teammate by, but he's lost a position in doing that, which is usually what happens. This is why teams and drivers are always a bit cautious about switching drivers during a race session such as this one here. But they've done the switch. They want to see if Rhino can get past Rebel, get on to a podium place if he can get this done. But two drivers are ahead of him. They're running out of laps very quickly at the moment here. Farmer still leads 1.2 seconds. Boss is catching up, but he doesn't have enough laps to possibly get that overtake done. Let's see what's going to happen at the end of the session once you get to lap 10 at least. It's all down to a second already. Tubba Malone also a second behind. So even gaps out in front for the top three. Want to see how this is going to end. Chunk might be having maybe some issues there, but he's swinging around just a little bit there. Rhino is up into 6th now. His teammate did a switch with him. March, of course, followed him through. Got past one McLaren. He needs to get by another here to gain another position. So what's going to happen? We got two drivers with penalties so far. We might be able to see a possible overtake out in front here. There goes the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Rebel holds it in P4. Can he keep it on there at the moment? Looks like he's going to keep it for now. As the Ferrari now is under pressure from Rhino, holding on to P6. I'm really trying to get it out in front of the lead has changed, and I'm not sure what happened. But Farmer is now down to second, 8 laps leading the Grand Prix, and he has now lost the lead. Boss has somehow broken that 3-second gap down in a matter of less than 3 laps, and he's out into the lead now. Boss be trying to hold it on through all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. Tubba Malone is within a second of the Haas, so we know he has the DRS advantage. This is going to get interesting going down to the end now. Let's see who takes a win on this one. What happens when we get to the 50% races after this as well. Always a treat with a sprint race. This is why I love them so much. Because you got just some interesting battles happening throughout the entire session going on through. Because it's always a short race. Chunk is out. The McLaren driver is out of the Grand Prix. I'm trying to see if we can see what happened. And doesn't look like we can. It's going to be a caution because they're already on lap 8 here getting through. And I think they're already green and going again. So going on to the Red Bull out in front with Rebel 3/10 behind the Ferrari of Jamie. Let's see what he can do. Out in front, Mr. Bonds in the Alpine takes the lead away from Farmer. He's now 1.2 seconds clear of the Haas driver, holding that lead. Two drivers lost from 19 in this sprint race. You can see these two trying to go side by side here. Down that straight, the Red Bull was trying to take it on the inside, pushes on through. A bit of late braking. Goes into the back of the Ferrari. That's not going to end too well with the Stewards now. We got one of the Alpine. That's D March trying to get by now, and he goes up into P5. Interesting move done. Rebel not going to be too happy about what just happened there. And the Ferrari as well. Let's see how that's going to work out with the Stewards later on in the session when they get those reports in, because that was just a bit too late on the brake. Went into the back of that car, so that definitely will cause some issues to happen here. Jamie currently P4, March in 5th now, and Rebel currently 6th as we're on a lap 9 of 10 here. And there we go. The race leader goes into the final lap of this sprint race, and it's going to keep it going. 2-second lead away from the Haas, who led for just about 8 laps into the sprint race. So unfortunate to see him not take a podium here. But let's see what's going to happen. Anything could still change around in the half a lap that we will have left remaining in the session here. Going back into the Mickey here, let's see what's happening. It's a caution in sector 3 now. Somebody's possibly off track there. There goes the Alpine trying to put a move on the inside of the Ferrari, not able to get it done. The Red Bull follows on through behind. Not sure if anybody has any damage from the previous contact that did happen. Rhino there is P7 right now behind Rebel. A bit of a gap. Not too close enough to get an overtake done, but these three are close enough for it, and they're going to go side by side there. The Ferrari on the inside, he keeps it going. A bit of contact, wheel to wheel with them. There goes the Alpine, tries to block off the Red Bull, getting around the next turn. Did a pretty good job, but the Red Bull gets a pretty good exit off the turn. Goes side by side with him. He's going to be on the outside, going around for this one, but it still could be a change around. Well, see what's going to happen here. Out in front, we still got Mr. Boss leading. Tubba Malone is now up into second. The Haas is down to third, and I think he has damage. He lost the front wing, so I'm not sure what entirely happened with our previous race leader there, but he's lost that around now. Here comes the Alpine around the final turn and across the line. That's Mr. Boss taking a podium place there for the sprint race. We got Tubba Malone getting across for second. Farmer with a broken wing loses more positions here, and out of the podium place is he going now. That is Jamie, and the Ferrari is going to be taking third. Looks like the Haas takes 4th, unfortunate finish. Rebel takes 5th, Marsh finishes 6th, Rhino in 7th, Jake in 8th. We got a few penalties. Rusty in 9th right now. Will it be a switch up? It will. Shins moves up to 9th, Bonhome 11th. We got JS in, he's in finishing 12th. Possibly here, so we're trying to wait for them to get around. Have a look at the how the penalty situations changes as we get across the line with the rest of the drivers here. So looks like cars in 13, Legendary 14, JM 15 should be as he comes around. But it's a 3-second penalty though. Right. Okay, it doesn't look like that switches around. So JM 14, Legendary into 15. Navic should be 16. Let's see if that's gonna happen. And yep, I think both are 3 seconds penalty, so that's gonna happen there. Locked is gonna be getting across the Mercedes for P17, 18th and 19th. Unfortunately, not able to finish this race as it is right now. So that's Chunk and Wolf out. We'll see them in the main race coming up very, very shortly. Gonna have one quick look more at the results here for the sprint race before we move over to the next session. Driver of the day goes to Mr. Boss. Can't deny him that one there. That was an incredible drive getting into the lead, taking a win off for now and there. And there we go. Sprint race results here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with PSF1. And first race, of course, of the year with them. Mr. Boss winning the sprint race here. Tubman Malone finishes 2nd on the grid. Jamie 3rd place on the grid. And final podium place goes for him. Farmer started P1. Unfortunately, had some issues in the race here. Couldn't take a win. Finished P4 though. Not too bad. Rebel in P5. D-Marsh in 6. Got Rhino 7. Jake 8. Shins in 9. Plus here 10. Bonham 11. Got JS in 12. Cars in 13. GM 14th. 15 for Legendary, 16 for Navic, 17 for Lock. Chunk and Wolf unfortunately did not get to finish the session. That was just unfortunate happening, but we're going into the feature race session here now, so let's see how that's going to work out. Okay, so on to the main race. 5 lights on. Let's see who's going to take the lead here. Mr. Boss out in front with the Ferrari. Sorry, not Ferrari, the Alfa Romeo off top. Let's get on the overhead camera, have a look what's happening as they get on through the opening lap of the main race here. You can see 3 and at least 3 wide getting through the first sector. We got a spin down in the back of one of the Haas drivers here, and I think that might have been, yeah, it is Farmer. Had a bit of a spin there on the opening lap. That's not going to end too well for him. Let's see what we can bring on screen quickly before this entire thing up. So on the opening laps here still, looks like it's not going to be a yellow flag or anything for that. They're going to keep it going. I think he's still going on track, but all the way down to 17th, right around where his teammate is. Out in front, Mr. Boss continues to lead this Grand Prix. Jamie there in 2nd, Tubman Malone in 3rd. Rhino is up to 4th right now. Marsh in 5th, Rebel in 6th, Shins in 7th, Bonhomie 8th currently, Jake in 9th, and look at Jake in 10th. See how this is going to switch up. We got a line of cars going through. It's 29 laps here for the Grand Prix, and it's going to be an interesting one because with the gaps, of course, you would expect them to actually start to space up before the end of lap 1. Not happening at the moment here. We're going to keep it going. Hopefully they keep the gaps as close as they are. Rebel here having a pretty good look at Marsh out in front of him, trying to line him up for a possible overtake if he can. Pretty early still in the race here. We'll be pushing for risky overtakes, but let's see how this is going to work for him. There's a car right in front of March, and that's a Rhino there, so he has to be extremely careful on attempting that overtake as he gets this race underway. Ball's out in front. We got a full grid of 20 here now, and running with it. JM into the pits here. Might have had some damage from the opening lap of the race. I hope my mic is on. Just make sure it is running. Looks like it is fine. Okay, so let's keep this going here, right? 2 drivers in the pits right about now. GM and JS, not sure what happened. Might have had some damage, maybe. Let's have a look if there's an overtake about to happen here or not. And have a look at tires in just a bit as we get maybe into lap 3. And of course, that's where DRS is going to come online. They have quite a few drivers out with their race itself here. Let's see how that's going to work out. Out in front, Jamie in the Ferrari is up into second. Tom Malone is down to third right now. Let's see if that's going to be changing anytime soon. Out in front, though, it's within a second for the top two. Let's see if they can keep the gap as it is right now. It's fastest sector times. Going to the Ferrari, though, he is in second. So Mr. Boss might be in some problems here in terms of keeping that lead of the Grand Prix. How can he hold it? Let's see what's going to happen. Still pretty early, as we said, in the session. A lot can happen, especially once we get to the pit stop rotations. We'll see what's going to happen at that point in the session. And looking like Rebel there. He's keeping such a close gap, though. His teammate is right behind him. I'm pretty interested to see what's going on with that there. A 2-second gap between them, so they're a bit spaced out. Not too worried about them getting into a mix with each other. And that is lap 3. We got DRS advantage is now on. So that goes for every car within a second of the car in front of them. When they go through the detection point on the track, will have DRS at a specified point on track to help them mostly with overtakes. Does give them a bit more speed, so it does help that. Right, let's have a look here. So Rebel definitely on Marshall's tail right about now. Down the straight. How close can he get getting into the apex coming up right now? See what's going to happen. This is might be pushing it on the inside. Got to be careful on those brakes there. And not as careful as we expected him to be. Got a bit into the back of Marsh there. They've kept it going. Cars is Wolf is losing positions, I think, there in 15th right now. So Rebel there, I'm not sure if he took any damage or did he cause any damage to the car in front of him. That's the Alpine of Marsh. Looks like JM is out of the session, and it's a virtual safety car. One of the Williams is out. We're not entirely sure what happened. Let's keep this on going. So VSC at the moment. Let's see, do they switch it to a full safety car, or are you guys going to be doing a short VSC and getting this race back on the way again? Alright, so we got pit stops, of course, happening right about now. Let's get up to in front of the track and see what's happening with our race leaders right now. So, virtual safety car still. Remember, guys, when it's a VSC, it's not going to be a long session one like when we have a full safety car. VSC is basically means safety car is not going to be out on track. They're just slowing everything down in the race so they can get the incident cleared off track. And looks like we're already clear. We're back green and racing again. Boss still leads this Grand Prix. Topper Malone back up to second. Jamie down to third now. Let's see what's going to happen with Rhino here. He's pretty close off with the top 3. 8/10 behind them. Let's have a look on board, and he can see the Rattle progressing on for a second place out in front there. The Ferrari having a bit of an issue there. Maybe had a bit of minor wheel contact with Topper Malone out in front. Let's have a look and see how that's going for them. Looks like the Alfa Romeo holding that position. The Ferrari trying to go around the outside for this one here. The long way around. But can he get it done? And looks like he might just be ahead for a split second here. Maybe he'll be switching back. The McLaren, of course, right behind them as he continues to follow the battle in front of him. This is for second place, and it's a 3-car fight for this one here. I think Rhino will just be a silent one in this one. Oh, it looks like Locked is out of the session. Might have retired in the pit lane. Now it's a full safety car. So whatever the heck just happened there. We're not even sure when on track that happened. And Jamie gets a penalty in the midst of that. I'm not sure what the penalty is for right now. Probably know a bit more about that as and that is 3 drivers out of the session. Got a mix of pit stops happening here. We already got conversations going on in Discord with the incidents here. So let's have a look at the grid order as it is. It might be changing up quite a bit now, guys. So lap 5 of 29 at the moment. We're on a full safety car, which means probably about lap 8 or so. We might be getting back racing just somewhere around there. Mr. Boss currently leads this Grand Prix. Jamie there, second at the moment. Top Malone third, Rhino fourth, Martian fifth, Sir Jake in 6th, Legendary 7, Bonhomie 8th, Jake 9th, Shins in 10th, Rebel down to 11th now. Got Krusty here, 12 pit stops are done. Cars in 13, and then Wolf in 14, Navik in 15, Chunk in 16, JS currently 17th on the grid, and I think everyone's back out on track away from the pit stop. The front of the grid did not take a pit stop here. Take note of that. It's only lap 5. They're pretty early off with the tires as yet, so they don't want to take a chance of getting in the pits right about now. They're going to continue off with the current setups that are running. And of course, Mr. Boss, you can see on the mediums, the Ferrari on the softs. Interesting one there. Top Malone, Rhino, they're both on the medium. I think Marcy's on the medium there as well. For what I just saw those cars go by. Looks like Rhino goes in. No, Jamie, sorry. The Ferrari goes into the pit lane there. So that's going to be an interesting change up to see how it's going to work out once we get back racing. Alright guys, back on it again. Let's see what we got changing up here. So currently lap number 7 as they get into lap number 7 there. So meaning we're running possibly this one more lap, then we're going to get back racing into lap number 8. So yeah, let's see how that is going to work out. Once again, welcome to everyone joining us here back on the stream. I keep forgetting the camera is there and not there. For some reason I keep looking there. Alright, so yep. Got about 14, 15 people on, I'm not sure right about now. Yeah, to all our subscribers, once again, thank you guys very much. I appreciate all the support on the channel. For everyone watching live and taking the time to do that, I appreciate you guys so much. If you're watching back the stream at some point, make sure you guys are following us here on Twitch. We appreciate it very much. If you want to support the channel, just subscribe or just let me know what the heck you want to do. No problem. Just happy to have you guys watching. As much support as we can get does help. Alright, so let's have a look at the penalty here. I want to see what the penalty situation is with Jamie's car. And it's a drive-through penalty. Alright, so let me explain how this works for any viewer here that's not usual, I guess, watcher of F1. So, drive-through penalty under a safety car, you cannot do a drive-through penalty. Drive-through penalty means you have to just drive through the pit lane at the required speed, get on the other end, and then get back on track. Racing, of course, it slows you down a lot. And the problem with this disadvantage is that you cannot do it during a safety car. So if you get a drive-through penalty just before a safety car, during a safety car, you cannot do it during the safety car session to just save yourself some time. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't allow you to do it, and they will never allow you to do it. So he's going to have to wait until the race gets back restarted and everyone is bunched up on track, very, very close, and then he's going to do it. Only problem is, once the race gets back restarted, you have a maximum of 3 laps to get that drive-through penalty done, or you get even bigger penalty than that. I'm not sure if they disqualify you in a race or what the heck they do. I haven't looked into too much for a while, but yeah, that's what's going to happen. So the Ferrari there is in a lot of problems right about now. So usually most drivers will probably wait until that final lap that they have the chance to do it and then actually do it. All right, so here we go. So back racing again. Out in front, looks like the Alpine having a pretty good restart here. Sir Jake in fifth, having not such a good restart as Jamie the Ferrari gets by him, and he gets that overtake done quite easily. So he's up in the fifth. Jake is down to sixth. Bonhomie currently is seventh at the moment. Legendary currently running eighth in the Williams. They're trying to see what's going on with him. Having a pretty good look at what's happening at the back here. Wolf at the moment, he's all over the rear of cars at the moment here, trying to get past him. That's what causes a 2:10 gap here, and he gets the overtake quite easily done, and we can see him pulling on the inside there. He pulls back on the racing line and takes his position there, going on to out in front. Oh, heavy braking with somebody out in front of Mercedes there, and I'm quite sure, I'll bet 100% that was Rebel. He's just, I don't know, just a bit heavier on the braking. Just trying to avoid contact with the cars in front of him. Let's have a look what's happening in midfield here. Bonhomie and Sir Jake. 110 gap between the two of them as the Red Bull tries to get away. You can see the Alfa Romeo chasing after him. Pretty close gap out in front. Having a look at Boss leading 610 gap. Top Malone currently second. And trying to improve that gap if he can to see what's going to happen as they get through the rest of the race session there. He's a bit closer down in the back there with Wolf right now. Now trying to get past cross here. Goes wide on track. Tries to come back there. And side by side with the Ferrari goes through. And the Williams in front of him. That's Legendary. I think he had a bit of a bad exit there because the Mercedes now gets by. He's up into P10. Trying to go side by side with that Williams there though. But the Williams is down a position now. Here comes the Ferrari of Crustia. Tries to get back at the Mercedes of Wolf right now. Doesn't seem to work out too well, as Wolf is still holding on to P10, 11 for Crusty at the moment. Legendary is still down there in 12. Bit of a change up as JS now goes up into 12, and a bit of a change up further up in the field. Try to have a look at that in a bit as we get on with the race here. Kins there, looks like he's down a position from Rebel. The Red Bull is now up another position. Let's see how he goes in the brakes there. Looks like goes pretty well on that. No lockup. Bit it over the curb there, and he keeps it smooth and keeps it going though. Love the way the guy drives. It's a 1.1 second gap with him and the Alfa Romeo in front now. Let's see how close is this going to be. He's closing that gap as much as he can. He wants to get up into 7th place. Out in front, gap is down by a 10th only, and that's big right now for the lead of this race. He's back up to 6/10, I guess. So they're keeping it a bit constant. Rhino goes up. What's happening to Tubman Malone? And he might have spun around. It's a virtual safety car there. And they're going to have to slow the entire thing down once again, but only a VSC. So we should be able to get this back on the way very, very shortly. Bosdo has led every lap of this Grand Prix. Rhino is now up to 2nd. Marsh is running 3rd now on a podium place for the European, who got smashed in the rear by the Red Bull of Rebel. And Rebel is currently 6th right now, chasing after Marsh once again. Got his teammate and Liquid Jake in front of him. So let's see how that works out. And still on a VSC, we should be able to get this race back on the way very, very shortly. Any minute now as they go through the main straight there, the straight in Sector 2. And TRS is back online. Race is back on the way again. Out in front, 3.2 seconds is away with the Alpine. They're leading the Grand Prix. Rhino up to 2nd. Yes, a lot of work to do to catch up to the race leader. We got Marsh though trying to get a position away from the McLaren here. Being chased by a Red Bull, so he has to be extremely careful here because you have Rebel just about 2 positions behind that coming for him. So that's going to be interesting to see when that actually starts to happen. Chalk there and cars for P11. That's going to be interesting to battle to see what's going to happen with that. Mavic and Jamie and quite a few battles all along the track here right now. We're not able to follow everything as we get on through on with Bonhomie right now in the Red Bull here. 310 gap. That's about 2 tenths. I think JS might have a better gap here to see what's happening if he's able to get past the Ferrari. Chong and of course Cars here. Looks like he's going to push for a move here against the McLaren. Can he get it done though? Chong under a bit of pressure from the AlphaTauri driver. Let's see what's going to happen, how that's going to play out. We don't see too much of Cars out in front, but he does do some pretty good driving. Always since to finish a race that I've seen him start, so I gotta give him for that. .1 second gap out in front, so a bit There, that's still out in front. Bon Homie is up into third place. So he's finally going to podium place. Marsh is down. He's lost it. He's fighting backward right now behind the Red Bull. Down that straight. He might take it on the inside here. Let's see if he's going to be able to push through for that position. Liquid Jake behind of him. Not too far behind, but far enough that he can not too worried about it at the moment. Got a McLaren of Rhino. Of course, he's up to second place still in this race. And trying to keep that going if he can. And we follow them on through right about now. There's a little train of cars coming on through. JS falling down the order. Shin's falling down the order. Not sure what's happening in the back of the grid. We got a caution though. So someone probably had a bit of an incident as they try to keep this going here. Rebeller in P6 right now. Got a train of cars, of course, out in front here. Let's see how this is going to work out as Rhino is under severe pressure for that second place in this race. Got quite a number of cars that's chasing after him all the way to Wolf in P9. Look at the gap how close it is. Especially with the Bon Homie Marsh and Liquid Jake right now. Rebel is on it at the moment here as he tries to get past the Avatar in front of him. Can he get this move done? Let's see what's going to happen as he pushes as much as he can. That is a pretty close gap, especially the cars in front of him. He could potentially get overtakes done here within a lap if he plays this right. And by that I mean not by breaking into the back of other cars. Out in front, Rhino, he's lost second place now. And those two are side by side in front of Rebel right now. That's Liquid Jake and Marsh right now for P4. Rhino down to third. Bon Homie up into second place. A lot of changes happening. There goes the Red Bull side by side with the Alpine. He now goes up into P5. Rebel and Marsh going for it. Marsh is down to 6. He's not going to be able to get his back right away. So P10 gap. He's pushing to try to get back that position. But there goes Rebel. He's pushing as well for another position now. Past Liquid Jake for P4. And looks like he might just be able to get it around the outside. A longer way around. He's able to possibly keep that car where it is. A bit of minor contact, I think, between him and the AlphaTauri there, but he keeps it going. See what's going to happen as we keep this race on the way. It's lap 12 of 29. Out in front, of course, Boss leading by about 3.8 seconds, so he's still pretty safe where he is, especially if second place keeps changing around. It's going to keep the gap kind of constant because they're going to have the time to catch up to him, fighting with each other for positions right now. You get a bit more out in front. Let's switch it out to the back of the grid to see what's happening. So Wolf here just went by there. He is down to 17th on the grid. Was a close guy. Top Malone, he's down to 13th right now. Within a few hundredths of a second, gets past Shins there. He's now ahead of both Aston Martins as he keeps this going. Have a look what's happening with in the midfield. That's Chunk there, and we got JS here chasing after, I think, the Ferrari across in front of him. Marsh there. Down to P6 right now. Rebel 2/10 behind Liquid Jacob. I want to see whether that is going to be. That's going to actually be going. Lap 13 of 29. Actually lost track of how many laps into this race. Marsh is into the pits right now. Of course, we're going to have some pit stops start to happen around this point. For those drivers who did not take a pit stop on the safety car, out in front, Liquid JK trying to get by Rhino, I think it is, in the McLaren. Let's see what that's working out for him. Cards is up to 8. Proud of you, buddy. It's not so often I see him in the top 10, so gotta say something about it. And it looks like we have a safety car. Let's see what's going to happen there. Someone just took a pit stop. That's a bit of a shame because the safety car means that you save time on a pit stop when it happens and everyone's going to go in and you save your position. Now he's lost a few positions. Now he's going to be able to gain a few positions though. Let's see what's going to happen in that aspect here. There is the race leader coming around right now, so we're expecting Boss to take a pit stop here. He's onto the mediums right now. Let's see what the switch up is going to be once he gets into the pit lane here, though. I'm going to keep it on him for the moment. I want to see what's going to happen when he goes into the pit lane here, because I'm 100% sure he's going to be taking a pit stop. Let's have a look how long has he had those tires on. And for 30 laps, so from the start of the race, Rhino, same situation there. Found homie on the 9 laps soft old tires, so let's see what he's going to do with that. Let's leave tires on through the pit stops. And no surprise there, he's going to go onto the hards. Rhino is in, as well as quite a number of drivers behind of him. Liquid Jake as well. Rhino trying to get his pit stop done. He's down to the set of hards. Bond Homie take mediums. Rhino takes hard. Liquid Jake takes soft. Rebel takes soft. Cause takes nothing because he has not taken a pit stop. Trying to get out in front of the grid. Probably should have taken a pit stop here. I'm not sure if it's going to work out well for him with that strategy. Let's see what's going to happen. It's pretty early off in the race. Still halfway through the race now. As we're on lap 15 of 29. Let's see how that's going to go on through. As usual, during a safety car, I'm going to spin away for a split second. Guys, so here we go, back racing at the end of this lap into lap 17, and we should have a straight run down to the end of the Grand Prix. So let's see how well this is going to work out for us. I think I'll take tires off at this point. I don't really need that on track, so this is what's going to happen on the safety car restart. Okay, so here we go across the line and into lap 17 of 29, and they're back at it again. Von Homie here, pretty close gap to the top 3 cars at the moment here, and that is Chunk and Von Homie having a pretty good go at it here. As you can see, there comes the Alfa Romeo of Top Malone right now in P4. He's trying to get by. The team is going to work for him. Rhino is down in position on Liquid Jake. He's down for 6. Jake is up to and just switching it back again. Let's have a look what's happening behind the Alfa Romeo right now, and it's quite a change around. You can see Rebel in the mix here, always in the mix somewhere, as he goes side by side with Liquid Jake right now for a position there. Rhino tries to keep P5 as much as he can. Here, there's his teammate just side by side with Tom Malone right about now. Quite an interesting run behind here. You see both McLarens trying to see what's happening. That means I'm not sure, but a 4th and 5th in this race right now. Rebel is down to 7, Liquid Jake in 6, Marsh is down in 8, and you see all of them coming behind. And these two have been side by side for quite a bit in this lap here. And there goes John as he goes out in front. Bit of wheel contact here with him and Top Malone, and tries to keep it going. Holds on to P3 right now. Von Homie up in P2 at the moment there. Behind the rest of it by 1.3 seconds. He's trying to gain some advantage with these cars fighting for positions, and it's working right now because Chunk is 2.3 seconds behind the Red Bull. Top Malone only a 10th behind. Rhino another 10. Liquid Jake another 10. Rebel is about 3/10, so not too far off. Top Malone goes ahead of Chunk now. It's the battle for P3. So Chunk is down to 6 right now, losing position. So something had maybe a bit of contact with someone there. And that most likely would have been Top Malone. Hopefully not his teammate Rhino, because the team is not going to be happy about that one there. If it does happen, let's see how this works out. Lap 18 of 29 here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Rebel is up into 6. Chunk is down to 7. Marsh is running 8 right now. A bit of a change. Sir Jake is down to 14th at the moment on the grid. There goes the McLaren of Rhino. Tries to push it on the inside and the outside. Where does he go? He has to keep it on the racing line for now. And we can see Liquid Jake here in the AlphaTauri. Rebel in the Red Bull. And the next McLaren, Chunk is 7 coming behind. All in a train. Following on behind we got Tom Malone here holding on to P3. Almost a bit of contact there with the McLaren going to the back of that car. Let's see how close the battle is right now with Rhino and Liquid Jake. This is for P4 right now. They're chasing after the Alfa Romeo here, who's currently holding P3. So an interesting battle between at least 4 to 5 cars for third place. The final podium place in this race right now. Looks like the Alfa Romeo might be starting to pull away a bit here. Let's have a look on with the McLaren right now. See how close that battle is. And having a look at the back of the grid to see what other close gaps we do have. Cars there, and the chance is for P12, the two of them are fighting for. So Jake and 14, not too far off behind. Got Marsh here, pretty close gap to Chunk right now. These two are at it again. There goes Job. He tries to push it around on the inside. Does that work for him? No, it does not. The McLaren holds it for P7, and Marsh has to stick it with 8. But down the straight they go now. Does he get a bit of seating advantage? And the 3 hours advantage, he does get that. There is the half of JS just behind them as well. And there goes the RP up a position. The Haas on the inside, the McLaren might be losing 2 positions here. Has a bit of contact there with him though. So that is Chunk and JS having a bit of contact here. Fighting for P8, and the two of them of course losing a bit of time with Marshall, who now goes ahead and tries to follow under the rest of the grid. Out in front here, Liquid Jake and Top Malone. Pretty close gap. Then we have Rhino and Rebel just behind that as well. It's a 4-way battle here for P3 right about now. Out in front, the top 2 running a bit of their own race at the moment. Back on board with McLaren. We got a safety car. What the heck happened on track? We're not sure of. And a lot of drivers out of this race. I actually just didn't notice that. We're down to 14 remaining right now. This will be our final safety car section, of course. We got the Shins, Mavic, Legendary, Lock, JM, and Farmer out of the session. I think I remember up to Legendary possibly out. Mavic and Shins, I'm not sure what happened to the 2 of them. But it's a full safety car again here. Oh, JS is out. What the heck is going on track? And everyone else is into the pit lane right now except for the top 3 drivers in this race. Looks like they're going to push it to the end on the tires that are currently on. So it might be quite an interesting battle for the race win here this evening with PSF1. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's lap 20 of 29. Or possibly getting back racing maybe in lap 22 or maybe 23. It depends on how things are gonna go on track here. We should hopefully by 22. I'm not sure. We're gonna see. But the order as it is, 13 drivers now remain here in this Grand Prix. It's Mr. Boss in the Alpine leading, Rhino currently second, Martian third, Crustier in fourth, Von Homie fifth, Liquid Jake in sixth, Top Malone 7, Chonk in 8th, Rebel 9th, Wolf in 10th, Cars 11th. As I said, he's always in the race, finishing the race. Jamie is 12th, got Sir Jake in 13th at the moment. If you're baffled by the names that are on that list at the side there, talk to them, not me. That's their online name, and there's nothing I can do about that. Tires. Cause is saying tires. What's happening to his tires? Let's have a look at tires. Oh, you got new tires. Yeah, so here's our issue right about now. Oh, there goes Marsh. He's going in right now. So they're now going in. So I'm guessing what happened is that our race leaders were not able to get into the pit lane at the same time. Oh, show tires. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, cause. Alright, so yeah, let's have a look. So let's have that. Yeah, as it is there. So tires right about now. Rhino leading the Grand Prix. And cause if you're watching running on 1080, you're probably about the stream is about 1.3 seconds behind than what it's supposed to be. If it's more than that, it's not my fault, it's your internet. So I'm telling you that you guys are right now. I checked it, it's 1.3 seconds, 1.2 to 1.3 seconds behind of the actual session happening. So that's what it is. Sometimes it's a bit less than that, it just depends. So if it's 2 seconds or more behind, then that's not on my end. That's something to do with you guys. So figure it out. Alright, so here's the roundup as we have it right now. So Crustier is now into the lead. He hasn't taken a stop. Rhino is up into second place. He hasn't taken a stop. Mr. Boss, who was leading, is now down to third, but on fresh soft tires. So we already know what's going to happen once the race gets restarted. We have more than enough laps left for him to get back into the lead here, and the soft tires are going to help, because he's going to have the advantage of new tires, especially of the fastest tires we have to run on this track here. Von Home in the Red Bull, fourth at the moment. He's possibly going up to second. Liquid Jake in fifth. Top Malone in sixth. Marsh 7. And Chonk in 8. This is going to be an insane last portion of this race. Look at the tires that these guys have on. Imagine what's going to happen here, because they're going to definitely be fighting for positions on this one here, and they're pushing a bit more than they need to here. Got Chong 8, Rebel in 9th. I'm surprised Rebel has some soft tires on. Try not to overbrake again, Rebel. Wolf in 10th, Cars 11th. We got Jamie 12th, Sir Jake in 13th. And I think this should be the final lap of the safety car. We should be able to get back racing after this. All these tires aren't going down to the end of the race. We'll have to look at it as we get on through. So you guys can see what's happening with that. Okay, so I gotta edit the stream schedule that usually comes up in the chat there. Sorry about that, guys. Did not edit it as yet. So new schedule as it is for the new year, as it is going to be right now. It's usually going to be Wednesdays with ARL Elite Division at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we got, of course, what we have here right now, PSF1 on 9:30 on Thursday evenings, and we're gonna have NACS Racing, a US division, starting up on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and that's starting from this Sunday. I even got confused on which Sunday it was, but it's starting up from this Sunday. So I've got to add that on. I think it was on the starting now page that was before the stream started. Not sure how many you saw that, but yeah, that's gonna be the usual thing. It's up on our schedule on Twitch, I think. At the moment, I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think I did add it, so I gotta edit that. These are one more thing I gotta edit on through. Alright, I think we're about to get back restarted here. Just waiting for these guys to get through. I'm not sure if the message even came up a second ago. I really do hope we are getting back racing here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so safety cars can get in on this lap, and we are going to be back racing lap 22 going into lap 23. So that gives us maybe like 6.5 laps of racing, 7 laps of racing, somewhere around that, if I'm correct. Okay, so here we go, back racing again. Let's see how it's going out in front. Out in front, we got a 310 gap with the top two right about now. Mr. Balls there in third. On those soft tires, going to be pushing as much as he can across here. Might be losing that lead a lot earlier than he expected. Rhino is already down to third. We can see him on the old hard tires. It's not really that old, but still, it's not going to help him with these guys being on soft tires here. There goes the Ferrari trying to defend on the outside, not working out too well. Mr. Ball's already back up into the lead of the Grand Prix. And there goes across here, down to second. Rhino and Bonhomie going for it here. And this is for third place in the race right now. Liquid J just behind of them. Top Malone comes next behind. March behind that. Sean behind as well. Rebel only a 10 behind the McLaren. This is going to get quite heated quite quickly for the final few laps of the Grand Prix. And we might have maybe some contact happening as they get on through with this here. Mr. Ball's only 1.2 seconds ahead of the McLaren here. Bonhomie needs to clear that McLaren because he's should be much faster on those soft tires. Let's see how it's going to work for him though. Switching on board right about now. Behind you can see a train of cars coming on through there right about now. There goes the AlphaTauri on the inside of the Ferrari. That was Liquid J for fourth place and top Malone. Sorry, that was the Alfa Romeo. Just here, just behind of that, it might have been the Ferrari there. Sorry, there he is. I can see behind. Mark here not too far off behind. Gonna have a look what's happening with these two right about now. Rhino under severe pressure right now. Here comes the Red Bull. Tries to look for a gap of where he can go and might be doing this down that straight there in sector 2. I think that's maybe the best chance. But the easiest chance he might have of doing this. There he goes alongside the McLaren now. And it's gonna be, I guess, a bit of a drag race down to the apex to see who gets the position here. But the Red Bull is on the inside. So Bonhomie should easily get this done. But Rhino is fighting at them on the though. And there comes Liquid J just behind of that, trying to get up into third place if he can. 2/10 gap there. You can see them coming on through. Bonhomie holds on to second place now. Rhino and Liquid J go right up to the rear of that car. That Red Bull is under trouble if he's going to hold on to second place in the race. Needs to create a gap there. And that was quite a quick change up between those two for third place. So Rhino down to fourth, Liquid J into third. Let's see what that order is going to be in another lap or two time as we get through this race here. Lap 24 currently still. I think we're about to get into the next lap. So they head into lap 25 right now. Mr. Balls, of course, leads that. Fastest lap time so far. DRS advantage is back online again. And it is a 4-second lead with the Alpine out in front. Bonhomie though under so much pressure right now from the AlphaTauri behind of him. Rhino's on those old tires still. He's going to keep them all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. Let's keep this going as it is right now. Top Malone not too far off from the car in front of him. I think we're going to follow on with that. Here is the Alfa Romeo. This is after Rhino there. Rhino about to lose another position there. And got him on the outside. That looks like he gives the position for now. Top Malone not pushing it too much at the moment here and tries to keep this going right now. Just using the footprint of the McLaren pulls on the outside and should be able to get that move quite easily done. There goes the Alfa Romeo up into P4. Rhino is down to 5th. March currently running in 6th, only a 1 second behind. Tries to get himself within DRS advantage now. He's going to need it to finish off this Grand Prix and possibly gain a position or two more if he can. Got Rebel there in 7th. He's not too far off in the rest of these guys. Wolf in 9th right now with a penalty or maybe penalties. We'll have a look at that in just a bit. Out in front though, Boz leading by 4.9 seconds. Not sure how he got the cap, but he's doing pretty well in terms of keeping that, and he wants to keep that right now to take a win here for the race right now. Remember, he did win the sprint race as well, so 2 wins this evening, not going to be too bad for him. Liquid Jake right now, 310 gap with Bonhomme in the Red Bull in front of him. I think let's see how this will work out for these two. As we go down that straight right now, we got the advantage with Jake here, and he's going to be forced around the outside of the Red Bull, but to get the move done, he does get it done. Let's have a look, see if the Red Bull is going to try to fight him back on it though as they get through the turns here. Someone locked him a bit in the back there. That might be Top Malone in the Alfa Romeo. Rhino just behind him by a second. There goes the Red Bull. He's going to go for the move again as he gets past Liquid Jake here. Back up in the third place. This will find a podium place in the race here they're fighting for on the final few laps of the Grand Prix. So they're going to push as much as they can there. Top Malone is going to be pushing backwards again as he can see himself lining up for another overtake. But he's going to first decide where to get this done. That, of course, only 2 tenths between Liquid Jake and Top Malone right now. Bonhomme out in front, having not sure what he's having right now, but he's going to be quite a bit worried about the Alfa Tauri behind him. There comes the Alfa Romeo. Rhino is now within a second of that car as well. March within a second. Rebel within a second. With DRS advantage all through that train of cars that's following us here right now. Let's see where they're going to end this race. Lap 27 of 29 here in the desert for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's been quite an interesting evening with these guys here through the sprint race and through this main session. Still following on with Liquid Jake here. 110 gap with the Red Bull in front of him as they go for the move now. He's almost 3 wide, 2 wide with these two, but we got I think Rhino behind of them. It's a bit 3 wide going on through there right about now, but looks like Liquid Jake takes second place and he holds it on through. There is the Red Bull of Bonhomme in third. Top Malone holds the fourth, and looks like another switch as the Red Bull takes back second place. It's going to be a switch by switch possibly for the next 2.5 laps that remain there in the Grand Prix. There goes the march on the inside, but we got a bit of a spin there. Top Malone has lost the rear, spun around straight into the barriers down at the side, and he is out of the Grand Prix. That's going to be a yellow flag there for that situation for now. And they're going to keep this race going. We're down to 11 drivers. What a crazy race this has been. And it's a 7/10 gap towards 7 seconds towards the race leader out in front. Of course, with these guys fighting so much, he's had a lot of time to gain his advantage, and that he has done so far. And we're down in the midfield here. Penultimate lap here of the Grand Prix, and we're following on with Rebel right now, the late breaker in the race. Let's see if he's going to be going into any other cars before this session comes up to an end. March in front of him right now, he's kissing after Rhino, and he's has his eye on that position. Here down the straight, has the gears advantage, so does the Alpine, but he gets by quite easily here, and he's now behind Rhino there in the McLaren. Can he get a second move take done? No, he cannot. Not close enough to get it done as yet, but still pushing for that position. 2 other cars in front of him. He could possibly take a podium place here if he pushes this as much as he needs to, or if not. Enough of those tires to make a go for it. On the inside of the McLaren into the next turn. Can he get the position up for P4? It's a fight for it. Doesn't look like he gets it as yet. It's a quick switch back with Rhino right now, side by side as they go on through here. The end of the penultimate lap here of the Grand Prix. Can the Red Bull go up into P4? Rebel really fighting this right now. His teammate is on a podium place right now, the final podium place. Let's see if there's going to be a switcher for that. They want to finish both cars just behind each other if they can't. And we go into the final lap here now of the Grand Prix. Voss still leads this on through. The Alpine doing an incredible drive out in front. Liquid Jake though, second place at the moment, tries to hold that on through, and we're going to follow them all the way to the finish line with this one. Bonhomme currently third, Rhino in fourth, Rebel in fifth, and it's on a 2:10 gap towards the McLaren in front of him. He's going to push on to really try to get that overtake done. He's going to put everything into this car that he can here, all DRS, possibly result on this lap here to finish off the Grand Prix. Wolf still in 8th right now behind Song, that's the next McLaren. Pretty close gap, as you can see, the screen is going to be finishing and holding positions. And we got 2 drivers with penalties. Have a look on how that works out at the end of the Grand Prix. But there goes McLean out, marches out to the session. What the heck happened to the RP? But he's out into the barrels down in the side. As I said, they will be pushing way past the extent that they should be at the final stages in this race here. Trying to get as much positions up as they can. We're down to literally 10 drivers who lost half of the grid in this race, but it's been an exciting race coming on through. Mr. Boss in the RP out in front right now. Let's have a look on where he is as he gets through. And across the line he goes right about now, wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Liquid J coming around the final turn right now for second place with trainer cars behind of him, and he takes second. Bounty finishes the race in third, a final podium place. Rhino takes fourth, Rebel finishes in fifth. Incredible drive from these guys. Chonker takes sixth place, Wolf takes seventh right now. Got Cars coming around, he should be able to take 8th, with Sir Jake gets across just behind of him by only a 10 to take a 9th here. That was one heck of a race. And some very, very interesting battles coming on through the final lap there, or the final laps of this race. Alright guys, so let's have a look at the preliminary results here, and I'm going to try to make sure I get it correct on the main race and not the sprint race results. Alright, so that's the entire weekend. How do you do this? Alright, so there we go. So race results, the main race results as we have it here right about now. For the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix PSF1, Mr. Boss takes a win on this one here. Liquid Jet finishes second on the grid. Bono finishes in third, and that Red Bull Rhino takes fourth. Get a McLaren Rebel in fifth. Got Chong finishing sixth. Wolf in 7, Cars in 8 in the top 10, buddy. Pretty good job. And Sir Jake there 9th, Jamie 10, Marsh 11, Top Malone 12, Crostier 13, JS. What the heck did I just do? Sorry about that, guys. JS in 14th. Oh, sorry. Only top 10. Forgot about that. So top 10 only finished. Out of 10, fortunately did not. But either way, guys, has been quite an exciting session. In getting back to it in 2024 for commentary, definitely a pretty good race to go on with, and a sprint race evening made it so much better to have it. That sprint was a lot of fun. I'm gonna do some edits, put some stuff out on other socials for you guys, and link them through. But yeah, thank you guys for being on the session. Everyone who joined on to watch, make sure you guys are following us here on Twitch, and check out the other socials for the tags coming on later on. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you guys for joining on the session. We'll see you guys on the next stream, which is gonna be Sunday evening, 9 p.m. Don't forget to join.